Okay guys, I think we may have found a hidden gem for the Abattoir of Zir. And the reason I say this, let me show you. I just want to show you something. So this is my fire sorcerer. I've just been mucking around with it. I built it, I put it away, didn't think about it again. But now that I've just come back to it, disregard Andariel's Visage. You can do this with other helmets. I'm going to need to build up my armor, so I'm going to need to get a helmet with more armor percentage on there. But I just want to show you something quickly. Let's go over and just pick a random nightmare dungeon. This is an 83 Inferno. I have just tried a 92 that I had, and you'll see exactly what I mean. Now, Abattoir of Zir is all about trying to get as much damage as you can and not getting damaged. This will work from a distance. So let's have a look at some gameplay. You walk up, you start shooting fireballs in, everything dies. You got someone with a suppressor on, jump inside, freeze them, shoot them, bang, they go down. Keep walking forward, shoot fireballs. You got something behind you, shoot some behind you. Walk forward, shoot more fireballs. Hey, look, more suppressors. Let's just jump inside. Let's use our get out of jail free card, and let's just beat the hell out of all of them. I'm not even thinking here. All I'm doing is running. Get rid of the big dragon for later, so we know that we don't have to beat him. And let's start moving down to the other side. This is literally all you do, guys. Shoot fireballs. Shoot them. Got something that you don't think you're going to beat? Freeze it. Get rid of it. Start shooting more. Yes, I know I've missed those three. We're going to come back down for those three things later. Just keep shooting. Shoot forward. If you miss something, shoot back. Shoot forward. I just want to show you how quickly and how easily I'm going to get through this dungeon. Look at this. This is 3 different suppressors. Gone.
I'm not ready yet.
3 different suppressors. Now as we keep going. Make sure we don't forget our little animate bits.
I'm not ready yet.
Get out of jail free card again. Suppressor.
I'm not ready yet.
Frozen. Dead. Next one. Dead. Gotta grab our animus. Look, another box. Another animus holder. Let's just stand here and shoot some fireballs at him. Dead. Now, my armor isn't good enough to grab everything else and take bullets and probably take half of what's going to show up in the Abattoir of Zir. But what it is good enough for is running these dungeons. It means we can get our armor up just a little bit. We can start to get our power up just a little bit.
I'm not ready yet.
It's going to be a substantial amount better. Now, the last animus, we left it up here. We'll quickly collect those. Let's go into the next section of Inferno.
I need time to prepare.
It's up there, used my freeze in the wrong spot. Now we need to go and find ourselves the bloodstone. Just keep shooting, guys. Just keep shooting.
I'm not ready yet.
Look at this. Suppressors. There's nothing. This is suppressors that we're dealing with here. Something that the ball lightning saw. Was a bit of a struggle with.
I need time.
We're doing substantial amounts of damage. You can see the proc, you can see how many we're hitting for. Hundreds of thousands of damage.
I'm not ready yet.
I'll take that. I don't exactly know what it gave me, but it gave me something. Deal with bloodstone real quick.
I'm not
dragged
ready
over here. Okay. Guys, leave me alone. I just want to get my bloodstone and get out of here.
I'm not
Are you
ready
starting to
yet.
get the idea? This is looking like it could be a real contender to get up there for the Abattoir of Zir. And no one's talking about it. Everyone's talking ball lightning. Everyone's talking Hodabarb. Everyone's talking all these other builds. Well, let's finish this dungeon, and then I want to go through quickly and show you
I'm not ready yet.
what the build looks like. to show you something else once we go through and have a look at this build, because there are some other parts to this build
I need time to prepare.
that I want you to see so you can understand how good this could potentially get. Look at this. All these glyphs are only 15. All of these glyphs are only 15. This could be a serious contender. Let's go back to town. I just want to show you guys the build quickly. Okay, let's start with our skill tree. We've got a couple of points in Firebolt. We're going to be using it as an enchantment, and it's also to get us down to the next part where we pump Fireball. We go through to Destructive Fireball so that we can get the increased critical strike damage, and it goes higher when we're hitting more enemies. This is our second enchantment, alright? Frozen Orb is the second enchantment. You can see it down the bottom there. We're going to go Frozen Orb all the way through to get our Vulnerable. Then we're going to max out Devastation so that we have extra mana. We're going to max out Dominance for the extra damage. We're going to go straight down here into Flame Shield. Flame Shield with the extra little bit for movement speed. You don't need to do this. You can put these points elsewhere. I just like the movement speed. It's a big thing for me. I want movement speed on all my builds. We take Teleport all the way out into Shimmering for the damage reduction. We take Ice Armor so that we've got another piece of armor, and we go down to Enhanced so that your mana regeneration goes up. Mana is the big thing here. We want to hold our mana as high as we can, because if we can hold our mana up, we can shoot more fireballs, and you saw the destruction those things bring. We're going to put 1 point into Elemental Attunement. If we've got some lucky hit and we get to reset one of these things, great. Then we're going to go down into Frost Nova. Frost Nova down into the Enhanced Frost Nova so that when you kill enemies that are frozen, it reduces the cooldown. You can use your Frost Nova a little bit more. Smash into Precision Magic for some lucky hit. Go straight across to align the elements. Now for Zir, I will probably be taking out the point here from movement speed, and I may take out a point from Devastation to bring down to align the elements so that we can get some more damage reduction. But we go the usual 3 into Mana Shield, 3 into Protection. There you go. Down here we take nothing except for Inner Flames. I'll explain why there's 9 points there in a minute. We also want to take Devouring Blaze. We also want to take Crippling Flames. Further down, I've got 1 point into Permafrost, but that's not for anything more than to get into Hoarfrost so that we do our 9% extra damage to chilled enemies, and we do some extra damage to frozen enemies. Teleport in, freeze, evade out, turn around, fireball the shit out of them, and look at that, you've got 18 times more damage. I've come down here for Fiery Surge because of the mana rejuvenation. 45% is nothing to be sneezed at, and also I've taken out Inferno all the way through to Supreme Inferno so that when we cast Inferno, our get out of jail free card, nothing costs mana. We can then just beat everything down like no tomorrow and keep casting fireballs for a good 8 seconds or so that it lasts. And then down the bottom, Essus Ferocity. Just a given. That's the way it's going to work. That's the build. That's how it all works together. I will go out into the open world and I'll show you a couple of things on how to play it and how to go through and take this a little bit further again so you can see. But let's take a quick look at the Paragon board. Paragon board next. So we're going to start. We're going to come up the right hand side here, go all the way through, throw in Reinforce for the bonuses, because you get a bonus here to non-physical damage. You get a bonus here to your resistance for all elements, and you will be able to see that our resistances all sit at 70. I'm currently only using 1 diamond. Once all of these glyphs are at level 21, you won't even need to use that diamond. You'll be able to throw in another skull, get yourself a little bit more armor. Once we've come up through that, we come up from the left hand side over here. The next board that we go into is Searing Heat. When we're in Searing Heat, we're going to throw in the glyph Pyromaniac. I'll zoom out so you can see what Searing Heat looks like. From Searing Heat, I go into board number 3 and I put in Elementalist. Board number 3 is Enchantment Master. I do come out here and I grab a little bit of extra non-physical damage. If you want to, you can also come up here into this one, into Elementalist, for more non-physical damage. But I'm rebuilding this and I've put some points up elsewhere, which you'll see in a second. Into our next board, we go into Burning Instinct. This is the spot that I filled out to get some damage to burning enemies in Burning Instinct. And I also filled out damage reduction from elites and getting a bit of armor because I'm trying to rebuild this for Zir. In this board, we put Destruction. Destruction's all about your critical strike. Critical strike damage is a massive thing on this build. Then we go out into the next board down the side here, this board is Frigid Fate. Your damage to vulnerable is a total of the amount of bonus damage to cold. We've got some damage to cold. It's a 21x multiplicative damage. Why the hell not? We've got to put this in here. We throw in Flame Feeder into this board only so that we get some more damage to burning targets, and you increase the direct damage to burning targets. And then you can see down here you've got your vulnerable damage. Up here you've got a little bit of cold resistance and a little bit more intelligence. And then we finish off with the last board up here. We're going to finish off with Elemental Summoner. Now, Elemental Summoner with your conjuration skills is not something that we're going to look at, but once we take some points out, because we're going to need to fill up one of these boards when we get that new glyph, then we might look at actually bringing a couple of points around and getting Elemental Summoner, because that will give you a little bit of bonus damage when it comes to fire, cold, and lightning. And you can see the bonus is 23x. That's another multiplicative. In this board, we're going to put Exploit, which is vulnerable damage to vulnerable enemies. I'm not sure which way I'm going to go for Z yet. I will do an update to this build. I don't know if I'm going to take out this board with vulnerable, or if I'm going to take out this board over here, which is the Frigid Fate board. But Frigid Fate seems to give me a fair amount more damage. I'm not sure if this is going to be more damage. We're going to get bonus damage based on the amount of fire, lightning, cold, which currently sits at 23. It could be a good thing to go down this route. We take all these points out, we fill this board up completely, and then that will give us some conjuration skill damage. It'll give us resistance to all elements. That's the two major components. I may even swap this board out for something else once we get that new glyph, and once we start to level it up. I'm not 100% sure, but that's the fire build. This is what we got. This is what it looks like. I think this is going to be an absolute hidden gem, even when it comes down to something as simple as going into a hell type. Let me show you how this works. This build is quick. This build can farm. This build can do nightmare dungeons. It's insane. So let's run out here. We're going to just run across to the side. I prefer to do my build showing you guys exactly how it works, showing you exactly what it's like in live play, because you can see exactly what it does. Let's throw some fireballs down. Look at that. Nothing. Everything's gone. Let's throw some fireballs down. Let's throw some fireballs down. This is literally all this build is. You want to speed farm things? Just throw some fireball build. Look at this. Look at the way it takes everything out on the screen. You got guys coming down this way. Just shoot and walk. Follow your fireball. You don't even need to shoot a second time. Shoot and walk. Shoot and walk. That's how this build works. Now, you got things that you want to kill. Teleport in. Freeze. Go out. That's where you're going to get your Hoarfrost damage and your 18% multiplicative. Works really, really well when you've got suppressors, especially in Nightmare Dungeons. But you can see here, look at the way this build works. It just completely clears the screen. Completely annihilates anything in front of it, anything behind it, anything around it. It's just insane. We're not going to collect anything from this hell tide because I want to do one more thing and just finish up with a little bit of gameplay from a Nightmare Dungeon. Let's pick something nice. Lights Watch. That's always a good one. One more Nightmare Dungeon. I want to show you this. Then I'm going to go back. I'm going to start rebuilding a couple of things, showing you different areas of this Paragon board. There is no link in the description as yet. There will be a link